Yes, Leanne. What happened?
Are you having?
Yes.
Can you use it?
I'm doing. Hello, up to the time. Greetings, everybody. Still having this technical glitch with the system, trying to work it out as best as possible. All right. So I've kind of tweaked the topic a little bit. As far as where what I'm looking at for the next call it about next 30 minutes. Right, I'm not gonna spend more than 30 minutes. I'm just trying to get something right, and in doing that, I am actually looking at some little simple topics related to fish keeping. Okay, so this morning what happened is that my stream was actually cut short as a result of the fluctuation of the internet services in which I have, right? So I had issue with connectivity. The internet was like falling apart at one point in time. I think everything has actually worked out okay now. Um, when you check the stream, I don't know how many stream is actually public, but when you check the stream, you will see that there are several pieces all over the place. You have one main stream for about 30 minutes, and then the follow up is about the next 25 minutes. So hopefully, everything actually works out well. All right, then Fred, what go on, boss? Ah. Yeah, me there. I was here before. It was internet problem this morning. I realized that it was like buffering consistently. Um, Even when I came back for about 25 minutes, and I was like talking for the first 15 minutes. I was like talking, and then I see something come up on the screen that do I asking me if I want to go on, if I want to return to live. And I said, what? I was here talking for all that time and I wasn't on. And then I went on again, and it gave me the same problem for 4 minutes, and then I eventually went again. I think for about 25 minutes I did a little piece, and yeah, 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 yeah. It's working out now, bro. It's working out though. It's consistency. All right. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm not gonna stay long. I'm just gonna because I really overdid it this morning. Waking up after 5, right? I know I got you out of your bed at that time. I know, and it's really tiresome doing it every single morning, and it's I wonder some of the time how those persons who who work on the radio actually work those tiresome shift. I mean, like getting in from 5, working from 5 to 10 in the mornings, or working from 6 to 12. It's really tiresome. I don't know how they do it, but I guess their bodies are just used to it. Plus, when I finish the streaming in the morning between 6 and 7, I go out and exercise from 7 to 7:30, and then I return, get something to consume, and then I will probably prepare for my class from 8 o'clock. But when class starts at 8:10 and it ends about minutes after 2 to 3, about 2:20, 2:25 class is finished, and then now I would actually start practically my day every day. So it's a tireful journey. All right. So for the next couple of minutes, Derek, how much do you read literature on on fish? Did you know that they have specific literature, published literature on fish keeping and fish care, sold at what I call it within areas that within what I call it as journals or periodicals um, at different bookshop or stand, and it's really difficult at times to access them. Sometimes you don't see them until they actually reach the library or they really get old, right? And as a result, it's like it's outdated. Well, not really outdated, because once it talks about nature, it's not like nature can be outdated, but the whole evolution of keeping fish have actually changed over the years. I remember, Derek, when I was actually keeping birds, I made a duty of mine to actually go by the pet shop, and I would purchase a few books, and I would read about the birds, and I would actually practice some of the habits that they encourage us as bird keepers during that time um to practice, and I found that the information actually help in actually increasing my bird stock, right? And I was able to, you know, have massive amount of birds within my coop. Okay, so a lot of persons actually trust YouTube and other bloggers as far as the whole, fish keeping is concerned. A lot of the questions in which persons do ask are simple questions that can easily be answered uh, in literature, right? A lot of the persons who actually share ideas on YouTube, on the internet, uh, are not necessarily, what I call it now, are not necessarily um, authentic within their publications. It is based on their actual experience. Uh, yeah, Yeah, well, I during my earlier days, Fred, I usually look at bird magazine. I would have like looked at birds from different parts of the world. I love barbel dove. I don't know if you know barbel dove, right? What you call ground dove. I love pigeons, right? So I would look at pigeons and I would try to do a whole bunch of stuff with them. I mean, like crossbreed between the beautiful and the top notch. I don't know what name you actually call him where you're at, but I would actually do that during my time, my earlier days, my younger days. um okay, cool. And Fred, Derek, the beauty of these literature is that they are now being undermined. They are being undermined by some of these how we come up lackeys who claim to know or claim to have the knowledge that far exceeds those persons with authentic information that have been actually gathered as a result of research that have taken several years. I mean, like I have seen persons actually share um on YouTube, and they have a lot of subscribers, thousands of subscribers, right? I share on YouTube principles of keeping of emboma cichlids in particular. As literature is concerned, this is not really something that should be done. The whole idea as to how you actually breed them and keep them and raise their fry, how you feed them and how you fix the feed and all of that. All of this can be found in literature. But what I realize, Derek, is that a lot of person are depending because they are lazy. Yeah, a lot of the audience out there on YouTube are actually depending on the YouTube shares to educate them on fish keeping. Now, like myself, I do some reading, and some persons might say that why is it that I am so, what I call it, controversial as far as some aspect of fish keeping. Why is it that I speak along certain tone or certain line whenever I share in any discourse regarding a particular topic that might not be favorable to, let's say, the big wigs that actually share on YouTube? But I beg to differ because literature have actually proven them wrong, right? I've seen person actually use some weird chemicals so as to get rid of algae out of their aquarium, right? That in which the book actually points out that certain chemical containing certain ingredient will actually sterilization of your fish stock, right? I have seen person actually try to propagate plants the incorrect way, right? But literature actually shows you how you can do this. And I mean, these person having these writing these books are rich with information based on not only what they have heard other persons have said, but also anecdotally. Some of them themselves actually experimented, um, getting information based on experience, based on working, what I call it, a participatory research study on a particular topic, right? Literature plays a great role in fish keeping, right? Now, what we must understand, however, is that sometimes the literature is a little bit, what I call it, skewed. Yeah, following. Yeah. So it is a YouTube personality Fred, that have actually been getting the views, getting the ratings, and not the content. So many of many of the factors that have led to the destruction of several aquarium species within the homes are led by misinformation shared by several individuals with tacky information but with a clout behind their name, because they have a lot of subscriber followers. So after a while they become they become the, I call it now, it seems as if they are the chief spokesperson for fish keeping and fish care. And if Mr. X or Mr. Y don't say so, several persons don't believe. Reason why I sometimes have this, well, most of the time I have, well, yeah, for the past 3 years, yeah, for the past 3 years I have this series called lecture series, where in which I delve deep in several topics. I'm trying to read every single thing that you type, separate in the same name. That makes one. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Derek. It's just not right. It's just not right, brother. And I am one to say that some persons are just in it for the clout. Some persons are not really in it for the hobby, or in it for the love, or in it because they want to be one with nature, or they want to play a part of the ecological framework of preserving our natural habitat well, the natural existence of aquatic species within our within our given space. Yeah, yeah, that's true. They don't read, right? And I think there's one place which said my people. I think I'm not sure if it's in the Bible, but it says my people are lost because they don't read. You understand? The literature plays a vital role in this hobby called fish keeping. I mean, you will do a piece of research, you discover something, and you're not one of those persons who will take up a video and video record and have a YouTube channel. And I want to tell you that a lot of these persons that have the clout behind them, that have the whole a whole army, if not a whole country behind them in regards to the hobby of fish keeping, right? Have no clue as to what they're talking about. They're just going with the flow. I mean, like you hear somebody say that, and yes, they swing with it and they say, yes, man, that is it. So therefore, the entire army follow them. And whenever you disagree with them, Derek, person says that you're a hater and you're this and you're that. But the fact is that they are actually coming with misinformation. And this misinformation leads to the shrinking of the aquatic realm that we have within our given space. I mean, there are several species of fish that are kept indoors by individuals that are practically, what I call it now, they are getting extinct within the wild. And it's our duty, well, I would say it's our duty, um to try to preserve certain species, but in actually practicing some of the ideas and the habits that a lot of persons have actually purported, what you find is that some of these species that we have now, that we are saying that we're going to breed them and we're going to release them back in the wild, we're actually encouraging them to be sterile, encouraging them to actually die because of diseases. I mean, there are simple, easy, natural ways in which you can actually treat some diseases that exist within the fish keeping hobby. But because some persons have some ties, have some relationship with the large manufacturers of some of the chemicals or products that are used to treat some diseases, persons tend to use their clout so as to actually promote the use of these items, neglecting the fact that you have natural ways of actually remedying some some situations. And some of the situations that have actually caused the what I call it now, the death, or the yeah, the death of several fish within aquatic space at home have received misinformation, follow this misinformation, which results in the depletion of several fish stock um at their home. And as the fish dies, or as the aquatic species die, you find that they go and they replenish and they come again and they start again. I remember a few years ago, a lot of persons were into this whole idea of monster fish. I think between 2018 and 2019. I mean, like every fish channel, even myself. And I'll tell you the reason why I go at it. Um, every fish channel had some topic on monster fish keeping. Monster fish keeping was the thing. The reason why I actually included that in my lineup of videos between that period of time, I think I did about probably 2 or 3 videos on monster fish keeping, right? Some of them never really get favorable ratings because of the tone in which it was set when I was actually sharing, right? Where which I said that monster fish in particular require a monster aquarium, require a large space, require a large filtration system that can actually take care of the fish itself. But a lot of persons were of the opinion that they can keep the fish and there's nothing wrong and such and such and such. I like I hey sell fish tank. No, I don't sell fish tank. I normally build fish tank to order. I normally build fish tank to order, so therefore, and I go up to a particular size. So if you want a fish tank to be built, you tell me the size, I do the measurement, I calculate the expense, and if it's too large for me to manage, I actually subcontract it out to someone who probably can manage a large size, and you get a fish tank delivered and installed for you. That's what I do, Miss Gail. Right, right, right. So as a result of research, one is able to better understand and interpret the way and life of specific species of fish. Now in Jamaica, there's not much information, not much literature on the local fish aquatic species that is published, that is within the public domain. Probably the universities and colleges in Jamaica might have literature relating to this. I probably would have to check the agricultural department or the agricultural ministry library in Jamaica to find much needed literature on aquatic species in Jamaica and their location. But as far as getting books written on specific topic, these books are normally available online, right? But first, I would have to list. Now, I see several fish species swimming in my local rivers. And to tell you the truth, it's a matching game. I play more time in actually saying or suggesting that a particular fish exists where that a particular fish exists a particular way. What I would have to do, what I would have to do is to with my underwater GoPro camera, right? And then now use that picture, go on Google and match the picture to the fish, and then now as best as possible try to classify the fish and then now name the fish accordingly. There are several fish species in Jamaica that I have never seen in the pet shop. Right? I have seen goby, GOBY fish in Jamaican pet shops. Right? I have not seen goby fish in Jamaican pet shop, but I have seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them in my local river. For example, the river just down the road from me, Salt River in Clarendon. I have seen a lot of them, and trust me, they are very difficult to catch. Very, very difficult to catch. I have tried on several occasions to catch them. Right? Yes, 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 yes. I did some little error. I had a little issue, Derek. I had a little issue with regards to the stream. So I ended up signing out, do what I had to do, and I have returned. Before you came on, Derek, we were talking about the whole idea of you know, failures in which we have. I have had several failures, right? But hey, Jeffrey Watts, nice seeing you. Bless up, bless up. Yeah, yeah. I boss. Alright, so literature. There's a lot of literature out there for fish that is common in the elite hobbies world. For example, I've seen fish fish books, fish literature in pet shops in Jamaica about arowana. I've seen it about angels. I've seen it about discus. I've seen it about catfish, right? But I have not seen much information about mollies and swordtail and guppies. And to tell you the truth, although these fish seem so easy, and it's not like you can actually learn as you go along in keeping them. But I think that there are certain things, intricate things within the literature that if used, we can as fish keeper be able to to generate a new strain of different species, right? But first we need to read the literature. We need to find out the preferred food, right? And I don't mean like what I give them and them consume. I mean like the preferred food for nutritional value. I know what give them a balanced diet within the wild. Look at what's the weight in which they should have in the sense of the size, the average size. So you can tell whether or not your fish, well, your guppy or whatever species of fish you have should look like at what age. You talk about the whole idea of the attitude, whether or not they are, what I call it now, they are hiding type of fish, or whether or not they swim in the center, right? And that's another topic in which probably we can look at, right? This morning I was talking about getting the centerpiece fish, right? When I say centerpiece, I mean a show tank. Creating your show tank, and I was thinking about the whole idea as to how you set it up, and looking at the fine tune parts. And one of the things that actually sticks out in that, Derek, is that centerpiece, that showcase fish, right? Should be, if you want an aquarium which is very active, you have to get fish that is very active. So I wouldn't put a ghost knife fish in a planted aquarium. I would rarely see that fish because that fish loves to hide, right? And there are some other fish that are like that, right? The loaches, they would dig their way in the sand, or probably hide in the plant, and probably you won't see them unless you're lucky when you're feeding them. They actually come out, consume, and go back in again. That's some of the stuff that you actually look at, right? And in literature, it shares with you. Well, you're being you're having buffering, Derek. Everything is okay on my end, and I'm connected to. Yeah, S. You're getting buffering, Jeffrey Watts. I don't know what's going on. Uh, hopefully this. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. All right. I'm trying to lessen the load on the system. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, boss. I was streaming before, and I discovered a problem. I tried to sort it out, and seems as if the problem is still there. But on my end, it is actually showing everything okay. And whereas a lot of buffering is taking place, I would see it on my end, and I would probably be kicked off the stream. So I am wondering, I be soon finished still. I don't plan to. It's not my wish to actually stay beyond probably about 35 minutes. So give or take the next 10 minutes, I should be out of there because the topic is not one that refers, is not one which requires a tall order of discussion. It just underlines or underpins the importance of reading literature, right? As a fish keeper, whether be novice, expert, or intermediate, the onus is upon you. The onus is upon you to, as best as possible, get your information from more than one source. So therefore, if you're trying to breed a fish and you check YouTube, then you check the literature on the internet, and if possible, you try and see if you can get literature locally. You read them, you compare notes to see what's the commonality between the notes, whether or not one makes sense or one doesn't make sense. Now, if you see that there's not commonality between all three, then now you do some more reading and research if you are serious in fish keeping. Fish keeping require precision. Remember, you're dealing with living organisms, and living organism require specificity as far as care, nurturing is concerned. Right? It's another life. It's not like painting where you can actually erase and you can write again, and you can erase and you can write again. Right? I hope that you're getting what I'm saying. Right? So the whole idea of using literature as one of the mainstay source of deciding what you're going to be doing in fish keeping is of importance. Now, my streams, unlike probably, and I love to watch streams where it's fun to be, yeah, I try to use my stream as a medium of to share information that it is, what I call it now, it's a part of my lecture series for this year. So I won't have a lecture series this year. It's mostly fish talk, right? But I love the fun stream. I mean I love the fun stream. And as Rob says last night, sometimes when you're doing certain things and you want to have a little laugh while you're enjoying what you're doing, he's pulling down his fish tanks. He listens to some of the streams, and he is it's just really fun listening, and it was really awesome listening to Larry the fish tanks and more last night. He was cool. It was really a cool chat, right? And listening to Fishy Bees last night, it was really cool. Yeah, it was like fun night. But as far as my days are concerned, my mornings are concerned, my stream during the week is mostly reflective on uh a process by which I do so as to strengthen the cause of fish keeping on YouTube, and together having the fun and having the whole share the tight share together, Aquafong, Rob 93 Aquatics, Fishy Biz, Larry D, Derek aka Deadfred 821, as we share together the accumulated information that we gather, whether it be through live stream or published or whatever it might be, blogging. I have a new I have a blogging page right now, and it's at the bottom. It's usually at the within the description of my videos, so you can check that out, right? But this is just a mode by which we use so as to share valued information about fish keeping. And to tell you the truth, streaming helps for persons out there within the hobby to actually understand that it is not a rigorous hobby wherein you come in every day and you actually just deal with fish. It's a life. It's actually a moment. It's an enjoyable hobby, something that you enjoy with not only the fish but persons who enjoy the same type of hobby. Right? So it's awesome listening, it's awesome watching and participating. So I encourage those persons who have not yet subscribed to those persons who are, regular streamers, to do so, as you not only have fun, but you actually share in the knowledge in which each person have to contribute to the fish keeping hobby. However, do not negate the importance of reading literature, which has to play an important role. Jeffrey Watts. Do not neglect literature. Literature is, I don't know if it's because I am academia, right? But I put a lot in literature. Right now, I have some papers to read and mark, and I'm just tempering myself before I go around the books to do that. And I also have, oh, Wagwan big dog, Wagwan boss, me there, me there, me there. We're talking about the importance of literature, reading literature. Um, in as you actually pursue the hobby of fish keeping. Yeah. I don't know what happening. Probably Streamlabs, but on my I'm not getting any problem. IJN aquariums, nice meeting you, nice seeing you. Oh, no, no nice meeting you. How much time ago on your channel? Last night you were streaming and I was on there, but I never said anything. All right. So streaming plays a very important role. I know what I like about streaming. A lot of persons love about streaming. The fact that you can have question and answer section wherein it person can actually ask a question on the spot about individualized areas within fish keeping, and persons are quick to answer. And sometimes and I've said this over and over and over again, right? I do not know everything, right? So if I am on JN Aquarium live stream and somebody asks something, and probably JN probably might he might know, but probably how he's explaining, probably somebody in the stream might not understand, right? Probably somebody like me, or probably Derek, or probably Joe might be there, and they share and they Uh, hey Fred, easy, share their thoughts on it. So therefore, not that JN Aquarium don't understand how to explain it. The knowledge is there, but it's how you, so it's like a group of persons with a similar interest actually coming together to share in information. But how valued is the information you share if you don't really actually watch videos relating to the topic, or if you don't actually read literature with regards to the topic. I'm going to be practicing probably in the future. I'm going to be practicing the whole whether or not myself and these individuals are friends, but I'm going to be practicing the whole idea of referencing. Now, when I give an assignment to my college students or my high school students, at the end it is expected that they actually lay out references, and references are that those literature that you actually get the information from, right? Some of the information shared on this space, on this platform, is false. There's no way validity can be placed with them, and some of them is only relative. That means it only can be applied if you're in a given area, right? So and I'm shooting myself in the foot now. Some of the things I speak with regarding my fish keeping hobby, I keep outdoor ponds, right? So some of the things in which I do with my fish, probably Joe Munoz cannot do with his fish where he's at. The fish will actually die because you might end up have snow outside, so you can't keep ponds all year round. I keep ponds, right? Another thing is that your water within your pipe might have a high percentage of chlorine, right? While my one probably might not. I might have well water. So therefore, the whole idea of reading literature, some literature, literature will tell you that you need to have your testing kits, and you might say, oh, that you don't have to read literature to know that. But some persons might not know. Some persons might just take it for gospel from persons that are claiming to be knowledgeable of the content, right? The aim of this stream is just to put forward the fact that reading literature and fish keeping is a very important. It's a more important than watching a YouTube video. You only watch the YouTube video